With the YouTube adpocalypse still looming over many channels, if you want to support this one, check out my Teespring store for the latest merch. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I feel good about doing another RT recap. I feel like I haven't done one in a while, and I'm glad to be doing it. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom comes out here in just a couple weeks, and I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and the reviews are already coming out, which I feel very weird that the reviews are coming out so far away from the release of the movie, right? But it's currently sitting at 70% of Rotten Tomatoes, and it's only got 20 reviews counted, so it can go up, it can go down, but it's currently looking at 14 fresh reviews and 6 rotten. And if this is your first time to RT Recap, what I like to do is go through the Rotten Tomato scores, the reviews, both positive and negative, to get an idea of what to expect from the film, and what you may be able to expect from the film if you are kind of unsure how to feel about it one way or the other. Now, let's go on down here to the plot line, saying that it's been 3 years since theme park and luxury resort Jurassic World was destroyed by dinosaurs out of containment. Ilsa Nublar now sits abandoned by humans, while the surviving dinosaurs fend for themselves in the jungles. When the island's dormant volcano begins roaring to life, Owen and Claire must mount a campaign to rescue the remaining dinosaurs from the extinction level event. Owen is driven to find Blue, his lead raptor who's still missing in the wild, and Claire has grown a respect for these creatures. She now makes her mission. Arriving on the unstable island as lava begins raining down, their expedition uncovers a conspiracy that could return our entire planet to a perilous order not seen since prehistoric times. And that sounds pretty freaking cool. That sounds pretty cool. Like, I like the fact that they're taking it off the island, that they're kind of doing away with the park and the island and all that stuff, and they're moving it into something greater. And I know they tried to do that a little bit with Lost World, right? With T-Rex running through San Diego, like a freaking Godzilla movie. But the idea here, I think, is fantastic. I can't wait to see it. It looks pretty great. Let's see what the critics are saying. So Philip de Selmian from Time Out says, this fun, pacey addition to the Dino Disaster franchise doesn't do much that's particularly new, but what it does with a fair whack of panache. So basically, it's very similar to the last movie, but it does it just a little bit better. Which, let's be fair here, in terms of sequelitis, that never really happens, so that's a good sign. Bilge Ebiri from Village Voice here says, but it all just hangs out there like so much else in the movie. Underdeveloped concepts that could one day be turned into a genuinely exciting, surprising film. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom sadly is not it. Okay, so that was a negative review. That was a rotten review. And the way that I interpret that is that basically there's a lot that it's added to the movie, ways to kind of maybe expand out the world, expand the story, take it out of the park, out of what we've known. And that could be there. It's good ideas. It's little threads that could work, but it could be one thing, but it wasn't. Maybe they're playing it a little bit too safe. When she says it could one day be turned into a genuinely exciting, surprising film, it feels like maybe it's playing a little bit too safe, and these big tentpoles rarely ever shock you in the way that they should. I believe Last Jedi was the last big one to do that, and it actually had a negative backlash because of how certain things were handled. Let's see here. Rafael Guzman from Newsday says, Fallen Kingdom sticks to the series' dependable template, which is fine. Which is good. Sometimes you want a big stupid summer movie. Like, I walked out of Jurassic World the first time like completely happy, right? Like, and I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, if we had a kid, I would be like, you want to go see it again? We'll go watch it again right now. Now I have a daughter 3 years later, and she's only 6 months, but I'm looking forward to taking her to movies like this, and knowing that it's going to be dependable as compared to, let's say, Star Wars, which has now left many of us wondering what the future will hold. John DeFore from Hollywood Reporter with a fresh review says, a thrill ride that finally escapes the theme park. And again, you can see that's kind of the element here. It's taking it out of the park. It's expanding the story. And I was always kind of curious about that myself when they had announced this new trilogy, about whether or not this was actually going to be a movie that lasted in that regard. Like, it was going to be able to kind of move past what it is now. Now, Eric Cohn from IndieWire gave it a rotten review, saying the franchise's latest entry takes its cues from the knucklehead plotting and CGI overload of Jurassic World, where supersized dinos face dumb capitalists and bleeding heart environmentalists toil to save the day. We all know the drill. Okay, so he gave it a C-, which in this particular case is considered rotten. But it does seem to kind of, again, harken back to a lot of the same concept that we've seen since the original Jurassic Park, where it was dumb capitalists with supersized dinos dealing with bleeding heart environmentalists. That was a part of it, right? That was kind of always the theme. So that's been the ongoing theme, and maybe Eric here just didn't care for the fact that this one kind of continued it forward. But okay, that's a fair criticism if that is how things play out. Now, Chris Nashawati from Entertainment Weekly here says, the less you try to dissect it, the more you'll enjoy it. Okay. I have to admit, I like that. I think what that says to me is that it means ultimately that this is a dumb popcorn movie. Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. Like The Core or Independence Day or any of those type of movies. Just don't overthink it, and you'll be fine. So Molly Freeman here from Screen Rant gives it a fresh review, saying, in Fallen Kingdom, Bayona balances horror with action and adventure for some of the more thrilling sequences in the entire Jurassic Park franchise. And that's really good. Taking a horror director and giving him dinosaurs to play with, and like especially how they were playing with some of the scenes in the first trailer, like the shadows and the teeth, it could be really good to scare kids again, because in the original Jurassic Park, that raptor sequence inside of the kitchen was freaky. You know what I mean? And like, it was like when they start, being able to turn the doorknob, or the handle on the door, you're just like, right? Like I'm excited for that one. Now Matt Singer from Screen Crush here gives it a rotten review. 3 out of 10. That's not good. Saying only characters who behave rationally are the dinosaurs. Yes, Matt, this is a movie about cloned dinosaurs on an island in Costa Rica that has a volcano that's going to be exploding. These are, rational times, because this is a rational movie. David D'Arcy from Screen International gives it a fresh review by saying, the latest dutiful and earnest installment is like a roller coaster that you've ridden many times. And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right? Like the what I've been reading a lot in these little snippets here, is that the movie definitely plays in line, very similar to how like the last ones are. There's a lot of tried and true methods that they don't really stray away too much from, and the type of ride you're going in for, but it's familiar, it's comfortable, and it's okay. Now Emma Stefensky from Uprocks here says, there's a little bit to the wonder and joy that made the original so special and embedded deep within Fallen Kingdom, which I credit to Bayona, whose primary drive has always been to sprinkle just enough emotion into the stories he tells. So, okay. So basically, it's what I think Emma took from this, that it's a little bit deeper in terms of the emotional connection, the emotional level. What was the emotional connection in the first Jurassic World? It was to save the kids, right? And the relationship between Owen and Blue and Owen and Claire. That was a big part of it. This time around, it's Owen and Claire's relationship that had fallen apart, that they're going to obviously rekindle themselves, and also a connection and emotion to the creatures, to the dinosaurs, which is something they've always tried to do a little bit with these movies, but they've maybe never fully succeeded. I think Blue is the best connection, and if that gets explored a lot more, because Blue is my favorite. I love Blue, right? Like I love Blue from Fallen World, or from Jurassic World. So like I'm happy to see that Blue's coming back. Now David Crow from Den of Geek gave it a 2 out of 5 here, saying its opening plays less like a scene from Spielberg and classic like Jurassic Park or Jaws, and more like an effectively directed, higher budgeted sequence out of Jaws 3D. So maybe a little bit over the top, and I don't know, maybe don't see it in 3D is kind of what I'm getting from that one. But finally, Diego Garcia from Cinemania gives it a fresh review here by saying, as we know, The Impossible, director J.A. Bayona, owes his reputation to how well he takes on Hollywood styles. It is logical, then, that his work behind the camera fares well. So, okay, the review's in Spanish, but I guess what we can kind of take from that is that if you know J.A. Bayona's work, you know how he does his work, you'll be happy with what he does here. If you're new to J.A. Bayona's work, maybe you want to go watch the other movies that he's done, and The Impossible, and I forget which other ones he's done, that can give you an idea of what to expect from how he's going to be handling this particular type of movie. And the thing to remember here, also when it comes to J.A. Bayona, is look at Colin Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow came off of Safety Not Guaranteed, which was a very well-made indie film. It was a small movie, very character-driven, and was given this movie and went on to go and make, 1.6 billion. It even dethroned Avengers Age of Ultron for opening weekend grosses that year. So, basically it's like this movie, it's big, right? It's big stuff. And so they're trying that again. They're trying that one more time with bringing this type of director in order to see where things go. And so ultimately, it does appear that this movie, at least to me, comes across as being more of the same, but in a good way, where it's more of the same types of tropes you understand. Like the scene here with Rexy killing the one monster, obviously in the trailer, it's a throwback to earlier films. So there's going to be some nostalgia here. There's going to be some of those elements, but at the same time, you know what you're in for, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And at the end of it, you're going to probably end up enjoying yourself, provided you enjoyed the other ones. And that's what I take from this. And so I'm curious to know your thoughts. What do you think about these reviews? Do you think that you think that I'm right? Do you think that my analysis is correct about what to expect? Or do you think that it's maybe a little bit different? Let me know in the comments below. My name, of course, is Matt Jarbo. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and check back often for more content from me. If you want to support the channel, which this video is probably a good reason to do so, Universal will probably strike it because I talked about the movie and they will not let it go. I'm not even kidding you. They're the worst people for that. Patreon.com/Mundane Matt's a great way, or teespring.com/Mundane Matt. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.